So about a year ago, I did a review on a Elantra Sport, which I thought was a great little car. It's set in that low 20s range, kind of below the GTI, the WRX, and the Civic Si, uh, giving you that little bit value for your money there. Now they've decided to go after the big boys with a Veloster N model, which will run you about 27 grand. They brought in Albert Bierman, who worked on the Kia Stinger project, who was from BMW, worked on all the famous M cars, and now they're got this car that starts about 27 grand. That's for a 250 horsepower engine, but really you're better off just upgrading for another 2,100 bucks. You get a 275 horsepower engine with some extra little added toys and a 19-inch wheel. So stick with me while we check out the Veloster N. So the base Veloster starts at a price of about 18,000. Now the Turbo R spec is going to run you about 24,000, and that's a 1.6 liter that's producing 201 horsepower. And on a curb weight of about 2,800 pounds, you should see a 0 to 60 of about 6.5 seconds and a quarter mile time around that 15 seconds. Now upgrading to the N gives you a 250 horsepower out of a 2-liter power plant. But this is the upgrade, which is a $2,100 option, and it gives you 275 horsepower. It's going to give you a 0 to 60 time of about the mid 5s and a quarter mile time in the low 14s on a curb weight of a little over 3,000 pounds. Now the car features things like extra welds and structural braces, making it stiffer, making it better in the turns. You have things like these nice indicators in the mirrors and LED headlights and tail lights. You have bigger rotors up front and the rear that are ventilated. You have these beautiful upgraded 19-inch wheels, which are part of that $2,100 package, wearing a 235/35 R19, and you have the nice N logo on the calipers. I think they did a very good job of selling this car with its N badging. It's very German-like. It's not at all over the top like the Civic Type R. You do have a larger bore exhaust outlet and a variable exhaust valve system, which will give you a louder exhaust when you want it. So as you make your way to the interior, you're greeted with mostly hard touch plastic. However, you do have a nice soft touch on the armrest. You have a little bit of storage pocket that's down below with a cup holder. Your standard Hyundai key. You have these real nice aluminum door sills with the N logo and your machine pedals. You have this contrast blue stitching and some nice bolsters there. Actually a very comfortable seat with a subtle N logo. I like the steering wheel. You have those two blue buttons, which I'll explain in a minute. Some contrast stitching and some aluminum accents. You have all your connectivity on the left, along with your different drive mode button on the left, which gives you sport, eco, and normal. On the right side, you have all your cruise control, your rev button, and your control for your informational display in the center, giving you things like your tire pressure and fuel and all that. You also have your rev matching on-off button there. So the two blue buttons, the left one is your standard driving modes, but the right checkered flag button is the most fun one, which triggers the N and N custom mode. So you can adjust suspension settings, the exhaust note, throttle response, and even available limited slip differential. So you have this 8-inch monitor, which has its N mode, just nice to see. Shows your performance timer, your G-force, and all of your performance data. You also have all the basic apps such as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, along with access to all your maps, including Blue Link, so you can schedule service and monitor diagnostics and all that through Hyundai. Now all the dash is hard touch. I expected to see some soft touch, but the hard touch was well done. You do have all of your media right below your monitor, along with a single zone climate control. And of course you have your aux USB and your power outlet and your traction control button. And a very nice 6-speed manual with your N logo. You of course have illumination and a sunglass container, along with a vanity mirror with a light, of course, and that's for the driver as well as the passenger. Now, getting in the back seat, I was able to actually crawl through on this side. It wasn't easy for a 6-foot adult, but actually it wasn't too bad. Of course, you have these really nice blue seat belts that match your light blue contrast stitching in your seats. So your trunk release is actually under your windshield wiper, which is kind of unique. Once you get the trunk open, you've got actually pretty good space in there with a light. And you have your spare and your tools underneath. You have a 60-40 split. And I do like that the handle on the passenger third door is up high. Kind of blends in with the car rather than the body. I had the front adjusted for a 6-foot adult, and I still had plenty of room for my knees, and it was a comfortable seat. The only downside I see is with the cup holders there. If you're actually using the third door, you actually have to slide across the cup holders to get to the other side. And there is no power outlet or anything for your passengers. Good feeling seat, but not much lateral support. And of course, your door is all hard touch. And you do have illumination. Now the passenger seat is pretty much the same seat, minus the height adjustment. And you have sort of a small glove box with no light, but it works. Overall, a fantastic car that will compete with the GTI and the Civic Si and even a WRX. So while Ford has thrown in the towel on the Focus RS, ST, and Fiesta ST in the US, Honda has stomped on the gas, bringing us cars like the Elantra Sport, the Veloster R-Spec, and now this N model that seriously competes in every way. With a stiffer chassis, performance dampers for great handling, a rev matching button that will blip the throttle between downshifts, or an exhaust note that is intoxicating with all kinds of popping noise between shifts. This car has it all at a price point that on the surface may seem like much, but get behind the wheel and you'll totally get it. Thanks for watching.